Hello, everyone. Welcome. We are going to get started in just a few more minutes, maybe 3 more minutes, and we'll get started. Just a couple more minutes. We've got people still joining us, but for those of you that are here, just a reminder that as we're talking today, please use the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen for any questions you might have. We'll take periodic breaks to make sure we stay caught up on them. But let's give this maybe 2 more minutes and then we will get going. Still got people trickling in, so just a couple more seconds. See lots of names I recognize. We're excited to have you all. Welcome. Okay, now seems like a good time to get started. So welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I am co-host today. I'm Katie Smith. I am going to be monitoring the questions as Chuck talks. So just a reminder to use that Q&A function at the bottom of your screen. We'll try and stay on top of them. Our goal is to not end this presentation until all the questions have been answered. So send your questions my way and we'll take periodic breaks to make sure that they're answered as we go. But without further ado, I'd like to introduce Mr. Chuck Wines. He is going to be your host today. So take it away, Chuck.
Hi, everybody. So my name's Chuck Wines. I'm a home ownership counselor out of the Crestwell office, and I worked with this customer on their custom plan. So, a little kind of backstory to it. So I think they were potentially working with someone else on a plan, and the costs were starting to kind of get explosive on them for the build and things like that, or they were getting kind of nervous about where the numbers were headed with it. So they reached out to us and kind of showed me the plan and said, do you think you could do something with this at in a certain price range and things like that. So it seemed like a pretty reasonable plan from a design standpoint. So I was optimistic about it. We made a couple design changes to the structure to help make it more economical, and we entered him into the custom process. So for those of you that don't know, so we can take anything that you've got and really turn it into a custom plan, and that's what we did in this case. So he had kind of a an idea, or small working set of plans that he was working with, and wanted to build that. So when you enter into the custom home process with us, a couple things that I'll mention about that up front is, one, we're going to design the home at a standard, at a base price, as according to how we would spec our own homes. So that'll be, hardy plank siding. It'll include a heat pump and a furnace. It'll be flat 8-foot ceilings. It'll have standard finishes. It'll have standard cabinets, standard countertops, standard flooring. But within our custom home program, will also present to you all the options, you know, that we would present to any other home. So upgrading to, so I'll show you kind of on this on the front. So upgrading to add these transom windows up at the top above there. We achieved that by doing a 412 vault pitch up above. So you can kind of see this small dashed line. So we've got a sharp pitch vault on the interior, so you could have large windows out the front. Taller ceilings, you know, any kinds of upgrades and things like that. But the way the program is designed, the way we do it this way, it does make it so you can pick and choose and prioritize and kind of build a custom home that'll sort of, you know, work with your budget, work within what you want to do. So now this particular home, we actually built it out in Blue River, Oregon. So for those of you that are in the valley here, that'll mean something to you. For those of you that aren't, it might not, but that is where all the fires occurred. So the customer got his site prepared literally days before the fires occurred. He actually had set up some trail cams to kind of watch the process, just to have a bird's eye view. The customers lived in Central Oregon, so they're building basically their dream retirement home out here in Blue River. And he actually had a bird's eye view to the fires happening as they happened in Blue River, so could hear trees exploding on his trail cams and things like that, of course, until the trail cam stopped functioning when all the power was gone and everything like that. So dramatic story, but likely this is the first home that's been completed up there since the fires, since we were pretty much ready to build, ready to go. Right before it happened, we just were waiting for the power to get rejuiced to the site to get started on his build. So really happy to be able to help him out and get his home and kind of like breathe life back into that community, or start to breathe life back there. Okay, from a layout standpoint, so this house needed a certain layout, and that's why he went the custom home route. You know, not a lot of floor plans are designed like the one that you'll see here. So most floor plans are kind of a rear living design, right? So your views are out the back of your house. And you know, that's kind of where you'll kind of put your great room or your kitchen or your master and things along those lines. This property is a front view property. The river is on the front side of the house. It's high up on a slope, so they've got a good view down to the property, and that's why they designed it. We've got the garage over on the side because it was really a pretty steep driveway, and so going into where the windows show at the front would have been a pretty steep pitch. So by moving the garage over to the side, it provides more length and distance to do a nice grade up to the build site. So all of this was designed to bring everything forward to the front of the house, all the views forward to the front of the house, the porches forward to the front of the house. And then the backside is really just kind of goes up into hillside. So we really took advantage of the property with this design, and that was the whole point of the way he was working with this plan. So you'll see it's a relatively simple plan. It is a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath with a den. So it's, you know, if you added a closet, you consider this a 3-bedroom, 2 bath. From a design element, it's got a nice large utility space in the house. They wanted a nice utility space with the roof is cantilevered right there. So it's kind of just like a covered space right out the back of the house. Large front porch at the front of the home, large porch off the master with a sliding glass door. We added a sliding glass door off the master so that they could have direct access, you know, sipping their coffee in the morning, whatever they want to do. So that's kind of the design of the house. Very generous master suite upgrade with a very large tiled shower. So I believe it was 80 by 42. So a very large tiled shower that you'll see when we go through the plan. And you know, they did have a couple particular really custom elements in the house that I'll show you through the video. So I think we should get started. Well, and actually, I don't see any open questions, so this always comes up. I'll kind of give you guys an idea of the cost of the house. So when we priced this house out, the base price of the house was at about $100 a square foot. So real reasonable base price of the house. Once we added the upgrades and the options that I'll show you in this house, the total home price ended up being about $151 a square foot. And that is just for the structure. So for those of you that have been through this before and you know this, this will be old hat, but for some people it won't be. So when we talk about a structure, that's foundation to finish. That doesn't include permits, excavation, septic, well, all of those kind of infrastructure pieces. When we did this house, we had an estimate of $47,000 that the customer spent on those things. When we started the process, we were kind of working towards a turnkey, because we do have a turnkey option where we'll handle the excavation. We'll assist customers and put them in contact with, a person that'll do their septic system. We'll do all the cleanup work, the debris removal. We'll give you an option for painting the house. So we can pick up a lot of the pieces for people that are out of state or just have busy lives and they don't want to do it. In this particular case, the homeowners, we're going to be out there all the time anyways. So like, well, we'll do the cleanup, we'll do the debris removal. We'll kind of pick up those things. We're going to be out there anyways. And they had an excavator that they liked to do their site work. So they had someone that they wanted to work with already. And so they ended up doing what I kind of consider like a modified program, right? Like they were comfortable hiring their own excavator. They were comfortable heading out there every couple of weekends to do cleanup work, but they didn't want to paint the house. So they hired an outside contractor to do the painting of the house. And I know at the end of the build, they're probably tired. This is, it's a taxing process building the house. So they hired professional cleaners to come in and do the final cleanups of everything and things like that. So you can kind of modify it to your lifestyle. You can do your massive sweat equity option, or you can go, a lot of turnkey and have us pick up more of the pieces. For them, they wanted to put their money in their finishes and their features, and they were happy to do some of that sweat equity work. So that they could kind of have all the upgrades that they wanted in the house. So that was sort of the design behind what we did there. Okay, now I'm gonna reshare over to the video.
We do have one question while you do that, Chuck.
What do we got?
Elena is wondering, is moving the garage from front to the side an expensive or large change?
Not at all, not at all. Don't quote me on it, but I would say on those plans, it's usually $800,000. They have to re-engineer the garage, so there's probably going to be like a $500 engineering fee because the homes are pre-engineered and you have to go back to the engineer to re-engineer things. There'll be a charge associated with that one, but no, nothing dramatic, I wouldn't say.
Just to confirm, you were saying 800 to 1,000?
Yeah.
Sounded a little bit like 800,000.
Oh no, that would be
okay.
More expensive. Okay, so here you can see the front of the house. So like I was saying, you can see how it's kind of elevated up on the property, moving up. So, it's got a bit of a grade heading up to the top. And later we'll see kind of what the views are out the front. But again, see behind the house, you can see how it just kind of keeps continuing up and things like that. So we definitely put a flat spot on a hillside is what ended up happening here. And then we'll play it. I'll pause it and point a bunch of things out as we go through the build to kind of highlight it. Okay, so I'll just start with like one small custom thing. I think we get a better view here in a minute, but we've got standard options in our homes. We've got upgraded options, and we've got just entirely custom options. So in this case, in our office, we've got front doors. So we'll have like, I don't know, 10, 12 front door options. The customers had a specific vision for their front door with integrated side lights, and most everything I've got is a clear glass option. And they really wanted like this rain glass, as you can see right here on the window. They've got it's a rain glass to limit visibility through the front. So we did a custom craftsman style front door with the rain glass features, and we'll turn around here in a minute so you guys can see it, but we'll hit play. Standard flooring options are going to be carpet in the great room, hallways, and bedrooms, and sheet vinyl in the bathrooms, utility rooms, kitchen. In this case, we upgraded the flooring to luxury vinyl plank. So this is called Umber Oak luxury vinyl plank. You'll see that throughout the house except for the den and the bedrooms, in which case we did actually a really nice upgraded carpet in those areas. The trim package on this house is called a Craftsman. That's a standard option upgrade in the homes. That's a reasonably priced upgrade for everything. That gives you more kind of a square edge molding and things like that. But this is a standard front door, standard door hardwares, knobs, and 6-panel doors come standard in the home. Oh, and I just accidentally fast forwarded. So let's back that up and hit play again. So this is the entry closet right here, and we walk in and it'll face into the utility room straight ahead. And on to the right, there's just a little built-in there where they can likely do like just a furniture piece, a nice kind of coat rack piece that they can go. And then there's the garage, the door out to the garage over there on the right. So right inside here, you'll have the utility room, and it's connected to a half bath through this short little hallway. In the half bath, typically we will put a pedestal sink. The customer wanted the cabinet space. They didn't want the pedestal sink. And so we upgraded from a pedestal sink to just a 30-inch base cabinet. And you can see that we've got nice granite finishes on the house. Here's like a custom option we did. In the branch, we'll have, 12, 13 different granites to choose from. And he liked the granite, but he wanted a particular finish on the granite. So we did what's called a leathered finish on the granite throughout the home as a custom option. So the granite company has that available to them. And so we did a custom option, so all the granite has a leather finish to it. For the plumbing fixtures, we left the plumbing fixture standard. Everything we have is Moen in the house. And so we install Moen as a standard. And the chrome set is what comes at the base price. We've got options for nickel and bronze and custom options for black as well.
Hey, Chuck.
Yep.
That countertop is amazing, but question for you. So you mentioned the luxury vinyl plank flooring. Can you give us a range of price per square foot to do that upgrade?
Yeah, well, so it would depends. There's a range within the luxury vinyl flooring, but I would say you are looking at about $10 to $11 per square foot for upgrading to a luxury vinyl plank. So in this particular house, the flooring upgrade was about $12,000, $13,000 for this house. And this house, I didn't mention, is 2,276 square feet. So that's the size of this house. And I would say, so like sometimes on the houses, people, as we design a house, we're trying to present the best possible base price of the house and keep going as a company, right? So sometimes I get pushback on like upgrade charges and things like that. But at the end of the day, when you look at the overall price per square foot to build a custom house, nobody's beating us for a pure custom house. So I tend to, focus on what the final numbers are going to be, that I'm certain we're able to achieve more at a better price, just from leveraging our efficiencies, our design standards, our team, our, delivery services, things like that. I know we can achieve the best price. Okay.
If you don't mind, this might be a good time for a question break.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I do want to remind, we've had quite a few people join since I introduced us. So I do want to remind you to please use the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen. That's the chat group that I'm monitoring. But Chuck, Heather is wondering, how many options of granite or quartz do you have to choose from? And what if you wanted something that wasn't in the selection?
So we have in the branch, and don't hold me to this, but I would say 12-ish, probably granites and 12-ish quartzes in the selection. We go through, out of this branch, we go through flow form. And so we could source just about anything from flow form if the options we have in the branch weren't satisfactory. Same thing with like Moen. We've got Moen. Moen has options that they offer to builders specifically. So don't go to Home Depot and pick one, but I could send you a link to Moen's website and their builder website, and you can choose anything from there, and we can custom option it. Shaw Flooring, same thing. They've got a builder's website of options that are available through builders, and we could send you that link as well and price out those options. So we try to keep people in the lane and keep it simple. Most people don't want to be overwhelmed with 743 different options, and so we found a lot of success kind of, presenting people the standard options that we do. We've got a great designer that works for the company that is constantly updating these things. So they're kind of always fresh and new. But if there is something really specific you want, likely we could source it through one of our preferred vendors.
Okay. You kind of hinted around the answer to this one, but Jerry is wondering, what if you want to do something besides a luxury vinyl plank flooring? What other kinds of upgrade options are there?
Yeah, the standard, the options we typically have in a house are going to be luxury vinyl plank, engineered hardwoods from Shaw is who we use for the engineered hardwoods and the luxury vinyl, tile flooring we have available. that we can do in broad ranges, and of course a bunch of different carpets.
Perfect. Okay, so Jerry is also wondering, is there an option to do sweat equity floor installation if they were to choose their own hardwood?
Nope, I'm afraid not. So some customers will choose just to take our standard flooring and do it after the build. Is a project that they can pick up themselves, but it is not something that we take out of a home price or anything along those lines. So when it comes to the house, fundamentally, we're going to be responsible for everything. We're warranting the home and we're warranting the features and things like that. So we give people flexibility mostly in the non-home related things. So getting the site prepared, saving costs in those ways, and then things that are not critical to your warranty and things like that. So cleanup work, debris removal, painting, those are the kinds of things that we're happily kind of giving people an option to work out as sweat equity.
Okay. So Jeff is wondering, what if you need a larger bathroom to allow for wheelchair access? How big of a change is that, and like cost wise, and what all is involved in that?
It depends. It depends on the plan and the change that we're making. So as far as changes go, generally speaking, most of the changes will have a $200 or a $500 kind of just design fee, a drafter going on, measuring it out, speccing it out, making sure that it meets codes, things along those lines. Some changes are more complex, some changes are simpler. So it kind of depends on the change that you're doing. If it's a simple change like just widening a door, maybe it's $100 change plus a $250 design fee. If it's more complex and we're rearranging plumbing and things like that, well, maybe it's more like $1,000, $1,500 kind of a change. So it definitely depends on the change, but there's flexibility within there.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so this one, if you don't mind, a little clarification for some of the people who maybe joined a little bit late, but you had talked about the base price of this house and then the base price with upgrades. Can you explain those two things again?
Yeah, the base price with our standard features of this house came out right at about $100 per square foot. After upgrades, so the home that you're looking at, after upgrades and features, this home priced out at about $151 a square foot.
Okay. Are there any kinds of warranties that come with that?
Yeah, the home will have a warranty. We work through 210 home warranty service. And the short answer is I kind of consider it like a 1-year bumper to bumper warranty, 1 year, us covering everything, 10-year structural warranty. And then we also give homeowners all of the individual warranties. So you'll get, the lifetime window warranty, the limited lifetime roof warranty. So you'll own all those individual warranties as well. And then for anybody investment minded out there, the warranties are fully transferable. So you can move them over.
Okay. Got just a couple more for you. So, Heather is wondering if you wouldn't mind repeating how the design fees work.
Design fees work is, well, honestly, so if you're doing a custom home, you've kind of already got it covered, right? Because you're running through the custom home path, which, by the way, and I didn't mention it, to enter into the custom home program is like a $3,000 upfront fee to enter into the pure custom home process. And that engages the efforts of the designers, of the purchaser to work with you on creating concepts and pricing out the home and things like that. That price will come off the price of the home should you order the home, but it's just the investment to engage the efforts of all these people that are working on the house. A custom options. So on a standard plan, if we make a tweak or modification, and a drafter is going to have to go on and adjust the plans, they'll put a design fee on it. So usually they're about $250, but they cap at $1,500. So let's say you did 17 design changes on a house. Once you hit a $1,500 design fee point, then they don't charge you design fees past that point. That's the cap on a design fee change. Hope that helps.
That's perfect. And that is a good time to keep on rolling.
Okay, so utility rooms at a standard are pretty boring. It's a washer and dryer hookup. So this customer opted for a nice utility room package. So we did cabinets on both sides. You'll see here in a second. So naughty alder cabinets on both sides. We have 2 options for utility sinks. This is a drop-in option that goes into a base cabinet, or we just have like a simple freestanding deep basin sink option that we can do as well. But we also continued the leathered granite in here and the upgraded cabinets in here. So really nice utility room space. Standard cabinets are a beech recess panel stained cabinet. This is an upgraded cabinet package that is called Naughty Alder. And I believe the stain color on this is bourbon, but maybe it's tobacco. What do you think, Katie? No one can hear you.
Were you talking to me?
Yeah. What do you think? Is this bourbon or tobacco?
It looks like bourbon to me, a little more honey colored.
Yeah, that's what I thought, yeah. It is tobacco. Haha. Okay, so there's a picture of that front door. So just a craftsman style front door with integrated side lights and rain glass. I liked it, so thought I would point that one out. This customer did, I think I get a pretty good look at it here in a second. All the corners are rounded corners. Normally there's square edge corners in the house. They opted to do rounded corners on the drywall. So all the exposed corners are gonna have rounded corners. For a window trim, the windows come just drywall wrapped as standard. So just drywall around all four sides. In this house, we added some window sills. There's also options to doing fully cased windows as well.
You want to pause for a sec?
Hold on, let's pause on a pretty picture.
Okay.
So Umber Oak, so this is a luxury vinyl plank flooring that goes through here. You'll see we're approaching bathroom 2 over here. Again, standard light features in the bathroom, Naughty Alder cabinets, same leathered granite. Bathroom 2 has a tub shower combo, which is what we would put as a standard in a bathroom. We just did one sink in this bathroom. We have an option to do dual sinks in the bathroom, so, but that wasn't important to them. So we just went ahead and did one sink for the guest bathroom. Again, so standard plumbing finishes. So we've got the chrome towel bar holders, toilet roll holders, plumbing fixtures, things along those lines. And backing out of the bathroom. And now we're going to head into really kind of the primary living space. Let's pause on that beauty. Okay, let's take questions.
Okay. Brandon with a great question. If someone was to add a 512 studio add-on, can you do all the same upgrades? Are there limited upgrades you can do?
No, you can do all the same upgrades on a 512 square foot suite that you can do on a regular house. I would mostly check with your jurisdiction, see what's allowed from a sizing standpoint and things along those lines. But from a finishes standpoint, sure, we can upgrade the 512 suite just like we can upgrade the house.
Okay. And Heather is wondering, what if you wanted different countertops? Do you have to do the same countertop throughout the house?
Nope. You could pick a different counter for your master bathroom, for bathroom 2, for the island, for the kitchen. You could do 9 different countertops if you wanted.
Nicole, not sure if we'll discuss later, but wondering how the land construction loan process works and any advice for those just getting started and looking for land.
Ooh, yeah. So we'll get through the video and maybe we'll touch on that just specifically.
Okay, I'm going to save that one, Nicole. And then Sabrina, I think you might have already answered this, but she was wondering if the corners are rounded, drywall corners are rounded as a standard.
Yep, they are squared as a standard, but we will always have an option for rounded corner drywall. So now that we're in the main living space, so you'll see we did a custom wood fireplace on this house. That's a wood burning stove or fireplace on the house with really nice stonework surround. And the mantle that you see there is not a wood mantle. Wood mantles are not allowed in wood fireplaces anymore. The fireplace just burned too hot. So if you're going to put any electrical components above your fireplace, you have to have a cement mantle, which is what that is. It is a handcrafted cement mantle made to look like a railroad tie or something along those lines. So they're absolutely gorgeous from a finished product. And this is a cultured stone from Boral with a hearthstone. And then we can get very specific with this one. So, obviously this one we did a raised hearth with a hearthstone. We've got the surround on all 3 sides, which is just a more complete look all the way up to the ceiling. And we've got kind of just a dead zone in there for, putting a TV up there at the top. You'll see the pitch in this house. Normally our vault pitches are a 212 pitch, but because we wanted these big transom windows out the front, we did a sharper pitch on the vault. So this is a 412 pitch vault. We added the can lights to the great room. The can lights are not do not come standard in the great room, so we added the can lights in there, but we do put the can lights in the kitchen at a standard. And then we roll around. So here's like the great room and the kitchen space. So we'll pause right there. So we did a 2-tiered island right here, designed the way they wanted it with that leathered granite look. I'm not sure if we go inside and see it, but we've got a farm sink from Kohler, so one of those apron front farm sinks, and the gourmet kitchen package, appliance package. So that is what you're seeing here. So it is a 5-burner cooktop. You can go gas or electric with it, a stainless steel hood, 2 full-size wall ovens, and the microwave becomes a built-in. Typically speaking, you'd have like a 30-inch range oven combo with the microwave up above it. So we've got the gourmet kitchen package for like an upgraded appliance package. And we work through Maytag and Whirlpool for our appliances. So at a standard, we'll put in a range oven, a microwave, and a dishwasher. So you are left to purchase the refrigerator and the washer and dryer that you want. We've got a pantry back here, and the customer ended up doing their own Murphy door for the pantry and stained that door himself. So that was just a little piece that he did on his own on the side. And then you'll see the Naughty Alder cabinets throughout the kitchen. There's no natural gas to the property, so I think we just did a big propane tank outside. He coordinated with that one. And our farm sink. Touchless Moen faucet in the kitchen. And those large transom windows out the back. So right out the front there, so there's the river just right out there. And you can see a house actually remains standing in this neighborhood. So it was really awful when you go up there. Like some houses got hit, some didn't. You know, fire works in interesting ways in these cases. And I guess I'll pause here to show that mantle as well. So that's a concrete mantle. So you can see the amount of effort that they put in designing and making those. Are each handmade concrete mantles, just made to, just real unique look to them.
We do have a couple of questions about this room.
Okay, sure.
Do any of the houses come with vaulted ceilings as a standard?
No, but I'm pretty sure every house has, or every one-level house has a vaulted first-story option.
Okay, and what's the price range if someone wanted to add windows like this?
Well, so I'll tell you. So we designed those windows at the bottom, just in the base price of the house, and then adding the transom windows up above was $2,600. And of course, it had to be included with the vault option because you couldn't do it without the vault option. So, so what was the vault option? Vaulting that room was $3,500. So the vault and the windows in this house cost about $6,000.
Amazing. Would you mind telling us what the upgrade cost was for the Naughty Alder?
The Naughty Alder cabinets. So in the kitchen, just upgrading the kitchen Naughty Alder cabinets from standard was $2,500. Now the utility room package was a lot because we don't usually put the cabinets in the utility room. So adding all those cabinets to the utility room added $4,000. But if you just wanted to upgrade your kitchen and your bathrooms, that's $2,500 was the price for this house.
Okay. And on that kind of same note, what are the cabinet options? What's standard? What are upgrades? And what's the price ranges?
Standard is a beach and it's a recessed panel stained cabinet. So like a shaker door or something that's got like a half bevel to it and things like that. So we've got some different door cuts, but they're all going to be a stained wood beach cabinet. We have standard upgrade options are going to be a raised panel beach. So just a raised panel versus a recessed panel. And then we'll have the Naughty Alders, as you can see here. We have some black and gray stained alders that are really pretty. And then we will have painted cabinet options. We've got 3 standard paint color options, like what's called a dove white, which is more of a kind of a brighter white. We have a linen white, which is more of a creamy white. And then we have what's called anonymous gray. The cabinet company does have, I want to say 5 or 6 other paint color options that are available that we can custom option. Or If you have a very specific color that you want, they will source anything from Sherwin-Williams to paint the cabinets. But because it's not a paint they have and they have to clean all their equipment very specifically to use your paint color, it usually costs a couple $1,000s to do one of those very custom paint colors if you want something very specific.
Seems reasonable.
Oh, and price range, hard to say. The Naughty Alders are, you know, on the higher end. So like $2,500 for this house is on the higher end. I think raised panel painted is the most expensive. For a whole house upgrade, probably depends on the amount of cabinets, but probably $4,000 to $4,500 for the most expensive cabinet upgrade we've got.
So in this room, what if they had wanted to do exposed beams? Is that something Adair will do?
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. We don't do exposed beams. We've got a, you know, we know what we're successful at and what, and we know where we would be challenged as a builder. And so we don't do exposed beams. That'd be something that you'd handle after the home was built if you wanted.
Okay, that might be a good moving on spot.
Okay, let's hit play. So you'll see we got a sliding glass door that goes off into the patio space over here, to the front patio space. And then the den we did with no doors. So we just did a cased opening for the den with a nice upgraded carpet on the inside. So again, if you wanted it to be a 3-bedroom instead, all we do is just put doors in a closet in here and it would be considered a bedroom. I'm excited for their bathroom. I'll pause this because it just reminded me. So not all builders have this, but the base price of our house does include a furnace and either a heat pump or an air conditioning unit, depending on if you're going to go electric or natural gas or propane or whatever. So that is in the base price of our homes. Not all builders include that. So you'll see here, so we have a separate vault in their master suite. So the vault in the main living room runs one way and the vault in the master suite runs another way. So we did 2 vaults on this home. This one is more of a standard 212 pitch vault. It's kind of a smaller vault for their master bedroom, but it allowed us to put a nice transom window above their bed just to let more light in. They added a sliding glass window to their master bedroom, again, so they could have direct access to their front porch from their bedroom. Large walk-in closet. And then the master bathroom. So a master bathroom typically will have, we include 2 sinks. Well, I'll pause it here. So we include 2 sinks and a tub shower combo. So in this house, we did what was called like a master bath upgrade this is a deck mounted soaking tub. So a drop-in soaking tub with the tile surround and a large tile shower. So that'll always be kind of an upgrade. We went with a really specific size on this house. So like I said, this shower is 80 by 42. So my math is not very good, but that's almost 7 feet by 3.5 feet. So 6.5 by 3.5. So really large shower space here. And that's the pebble floor option that we've got. And then you've got we added a bench in here with the tile surround, the trim piece added in. The niches have that tile piece in the back. A little rain shower up above. So yeah, gorgeous bathroom.
Whenever you're at a good stopping point, we have closet and bathroom questions.
Sure. Let's go to something pretty and then let's take a couple questions.
I like your style. Can we do closet organizers?
Yeah, that is something that we would allow a homeowner to do on their own. So if you just wanted us to delete the shelf and pull and you wanted to do your own closet organizing system, sure, go for it. That's not going to make anybody emotional.
Okay. What about a standalone tub?
Sure, we do have. So you could probably look it up. It's called the hibiscus, is the one that we typically price out. We try to stick with freestanding tubs that still have the ability to have wall mounted plumbing. So your plumbing fixtures would come out of the wall as opposed to coming out of the floor. The floor plumbing fixtures are outrageously expensive. So we found a tub that's a freestanding soaker tub, looks nice, that you can do that with. We'd probably entertain doing other ones, but we'd also probably twist your arm and try to get you to talk into doing the hibiscus, because from an affordability standpoint, it's a good tub option for a freestanding tub.
Okay, a couple of pricing questions, kind of in the same range. So, how much would you say that this bathroom cost as far as upgrades?
And this is an enormous tiled shower. So for this tiled shower and this deck mounted tub, that was a $12,000 option on this house. Okay. I would say typical tiled showers, more in like a 5 foot by 3 foot size, which would be a more kind of standard size shower. Those are usually going to price you $5,500, $6,000, depending on the tile that you pick. And a deck mounted tiled tub is usually going to price you out about probably about $4,000. Yeah, so most master bath upgrades to this level with most normal size showers, you're probably talking about $9,000 to $10,000. This is an extra large shower. So
on that cost you mentioned for a more standard size shower for a tile upgrade, what is included in that? Are there shelves, benches, niches?
So it depends. There's the niches, or at least one niche is included. In a typical tiled shower, and I don't see in here, so they must be in this corner, but they put little corner shelves in, I think 3 corner shelves in going down, but that'd be tiled walls up to the ceiling, and then a tiled floor. We'd have a lot of different options. Adding a bench, I believe, is $300. So if you want the foot bench that you can see out there, that'll be a couple $100. And then you can add like trim pieces like this. Again, it depends on the trim piece that you're adding, but I would say usually about $450 for the trim piece. So, and then I've had people do different kinds of trims, a trim piece like this with a vertical trim piece from floor to ceiling on this side. So, I can't wait until it's done. We just are going to start a house that's got the most remarkable shower that we'll probably have ever made here real soon, that I'll do a virtual open house on in the near future. So stay tuned. But yeah, if you've got a vision, we can probably help you accomplish that.
Okay. Couple more bathroom questions. So this one, can you do electric floor heating in the bathroom?
In the bathroom, we will. Yeah. The flooring would have to be tile for us to do it, but we can do an upgrade option to do electric underfloor heating with tiled floors.
Okay. This is new to me, but can you do a laminate shower instead of a tile shower?
I don't think so.
I'm not sure what a laminate. I'm gonna have to Google that when we're done here.
We can do more of like a subway tile style, with a variety of different subway tiles, but I do not know that I've ever seen a laminate option.
Okay. If you were to want to add a vault to the bedroom, would that be another $3,500-ish, or is that?
No, it's usually a little bit less. So let's see here. The bedroom vault was $2,400 on this house.
Okay. And then one last question before you can move on. Mr. Hankins is wondering if you wouldn't mind repeating what comes standard for heating and AC.
So if you go with electric, you'd have an electric furnace with a heat pump. American Standard is the company or the brand that we use for the heat pumps and furnaces. If you were to go with propane or natural gas furnace, we would do an air conditioning unit on the outside. Again, American Standard.
Perfect. You are free to keep going.
I just love the shower. So. And just taking a little outside tour here. Yeah, a little outside tour. So Love the house. Love the house.
The house is incredible.
So let's see here. Okay, so you guys want to talk about financing a little bit. So we can set you up. We have a partner company that does financing. It is a construction loan. So that loan can pay for all of the aspects that would go into building a house. So if you don't own property, that loan could pay for the property. It could pay for your site development costs and your excavation costs and your permits and utility and infrastructure and all of it. And it'll pay for the house with all the upgrades. Their conventional loan is a 5% down program of the total purchase price. So however much it is, 5% down would be the minimum down payment requirement. Of course, you could do more if you wanted to. That particular company also has VA and FHA options. So they would have an FHA option that's a 3.5% down loan, and they'd have a VA option that's a 0% down loan. Now, I will say, we're going to get in the weeds here just a little bit, but the primary difference between a conventional loan and these other two loans is, on a conventional loan, just to use easy math here, let's say you're approved for $500,000. Well, you got this top line amount that you're approved for. During the build, it's kind of a little bit of a pay-as-you-go kind of a program. So as money is spent, you're going to be making interest payments during the build before you ever move in. So in the process, the first thing that would get paid for is the property. So let's say it's $100,000. And the numbers I've heard recently is, you could expect $450, $475 interest payments per $100,000 that you spent. So the first thing that you'll buy is the property. Now it's titled in your name, and you can go get permits and all that kind of stuff. Well, so for the first 3 months, you've got like this $450, $475 payment every month, just paying the interest on that property purchase. And then your permits get approved and your excavation work gets done and those folks get paid. Now you're going to pay interest on that. So it's a little bit more that month and the next month. And then when we go to build the house, we'll take a draw roughly every month through the process. And so it grows through the entire process. Once most of the money's spent, it gets expensive, right? It's looking like a mortgage because you spent most of your money. And then when you move in, your 30-year fix starts. The advantage with the FHA and the VA options is you don't make any payments until you move into the house. With the FHA, the downsides are that FHA loans will always have private mortgage insurance. So even though you might have a 30% equity position, you're still going to have private mortgage insurance on that loan. And of course, the recurring interest payments, they're just tacking it on to the end of your loan. So interest payments are being accounted for. They're just adding it to your loan. So either it's going to increase your loan amount a little bit, or it's going to decrease your spending power. But it does make it much more comfortable because you don't have to make payments during the build. So if you're renting somewhere or something along those lines and that gets expensive, then FHA might be a great option. Same thing with the VA. The VA, you don't make any payments during the build. There is interest payments accruing, but they'll just add them onto the back end of the loan like other banks would do with closing costs or things like that. So there is the quick rundown of it. From a land thing, so we don't own property, we don't have any property, but most of the branches, and you'd want to contact your local branch, has 2, 3, 4, 5 realtors that they work with that will be happy to take the time and energy to help you find some property and things like that. People that have more expertise in looking at land, that have inside track, they work with more land listings. So most real estate offices will have that person, and we've probably got a contact that we could help put you in touch with somebody that's more of a land specialist.
Okay, kind of on that note, and this might be one that should be answered privately, but Elena's wondering, how does refinancing to incorporate equity work?
Ooh, you might get in the weeds a little bit right there. So I know that even a conventional loan will be established with PMI, but the average equity position with a 5% down payment is over 20%. So with that said, I think most people can get into a refi situation or pay for a secondary appraisal after the build is done and drop PMI in a matter of months. But you'd want to confirm that with the loan officer directly as far as timing goes.
Okay. And then Shannon's wondering, and maybe just a little additional information needed. So with the FHA option, does it ever tie the land into the loan?
Yes. The FHA will purchase the property for you as well.
Okay. And do people have to use our in-house financing?
Nope. So they've got a lane where they're successful. So they've got a limit to what they're comfortable with the property purchase and a size limit. They only work in conventional loans, which I think right now is like 548,000 or less. And that's where they're successful. So there are other banks that people use. There's quite a few really. Let's see here. We've got Umpqua Bank has a good construction loan program that's a 10% down program. Banner Bank has a good conventional program that's a 5% down program. Is it Man?
Man Mortgage.
Man Mortgage has a good construction loan program. It's got a lot of options. So there are other banks that we work with. I would say if you're in Alliance's lane, honestly, they've got a really good program because one, they are comfortable with our sweat equity option. So if you want to paint the house, you can paint the house. They will accept you saying, it's going to cost me $3,000 in materials and I'm going to do the labor, and they'll accept that. Other banks are going to require you to get some bids for that kind of work. In addition, the advantage to Alliance is other banks don't lock your 30-year rate, your permanent rate, until you take occupancy of the house. And I'm sure everybody on here has paid a little bit of attention. So the rates keep ticking up, or they seem to be ticking up. Alliance will lock your rate before a stick is ever thrown in the ground. They lock it when an initial appraisal comes back. So once you sign papers with us and we're doing this, they'll order an initial appraisal. Once that comes in and it comes in positively, they'll lock your rate at that point. And then it's really a risk-free deal because when you take occupancy, say things get better, say the rates fall again, they would float it down to the lower rate for you without a penalty charge. So it is the most advantageous loan from a rate standpoint that's available to anybody.
Awesome. Okay. I've got a couple more for you, but I accidentally marked a question. I think it was Heather, maybe. There was lots of questions on cabinetry. So I did want to say all cabinets are made to order. So there's been lots of questions on what if we want to do a 2-tier island or a flat island, or we want the cabinets deeper, or you can specify exactly what you want. You can add glass, you can add wine racks, you can add dish racks, you can do
pull out drawers,
spice drawers. Yeah. They're all made to order. So to answer all of your questions, yes. Okay, another one for Chuck. So Jennifer and Jerry are both wondering about the standard roofing material and whether or not they can do metal.
Right, so you'd want to talk to your branch where you're at. Right now at our branch, we do not have a metal roof option. Our roofs will all be limited lifetime architectural roofs from IKO. Other branches do have metal roof options though, so you'll want to check with the closest branch to you. And we're working on it. We just don't currently have an option for you.
Okay. And we're in the Cresswell office. We're in Cresswell, Oregon. Just
yeah, we pretty much cover from Florence over to Lebanon, South Roseburg over to Bandon.
Okay. Brandon is wondering if they can visit a local branch to look at options before they start the process.
Absolutely.
And then, okay, that's kind of a loaded question. Caroline is wondering how long a custom build usually takes from start to finish, and are we backed up, or would we be able to start the project soon?
Yeah, so I'll give you my answer, but again, you'll want to talk to your local branch. So our answer here is really busy. But in addition, you're going to have challenges from a jurisdictional standpoint where we're at right now. So Lane County, if your home didn't burn down, Lane County has a lot of permits they're working through because a lot of people lost their homes. So, and they're prioritizing the burn downs, probably as they should. So with that said, so the jurisdictional timeline is something that's kind of unknown at this point for people. Typically speaking, we would tell people that it's about 120 days from when you sign papers till when you're prepared to build. We lock your price for 120 days, and when things go smoothly, people are successful within the 120 days. Excavation's done, permits are approved, site's ready to go, power's juiced, everything's ready to build within that 4-month period of time. Right now, if you were in Lane County and you didn't have your home burned down, I tell you, you're going to probably be 5 months out before you can even start construction at Lane County right now. Maybe 6. It's kind of hard to tell. Depends on the challenges of your lot. And then from a build time standpoint, so we're basically we're at our limit at this point. And I would say if you handed it in today, it might be a month before we're able to start your foundation. The average build time is probably about 160, 165 days for a home. But if 4 people handed in their I'm ready to build form to us, the week before you, and you got to sit for a month, then now your build time is 165 days plus 30. So I would tell people right now at this point, plan on 10 to 12 months, depending on the pace at which you could move through the process with the jurisdictions and things like that. From when you sign papers to when you can move into your house. If you want to be pragmatic, say 12 months. If you can move through the process quickly, maybe sooner. But plan for the worst. Now that's different per branch. I know like King County, if anybody's in King County, they are notorious for taking forever for permitting and things like that. So definitely talk to your local branch to get their answer to that question.
Okay.
Katie, you got any feedback on that? Does that sound all about right?
That sounded accurate. And I personally am waiting for permits with Lane County, so I can attest to the 5 or 6 months.
Oh, you should highlight your blog.
Yeah. If anyone wants to know more about Lane County, I'm happy to answer questions. Okay, so a couple questions, switching gears a tiny bit. Is there a water heater that comes with the house, and are there options if you don't like the standard?
Yep, there we provide a really nice 50-gallon heat pump water heater with the homes. It's an electric heat pump water heater, super efficient, really nice water heater. The A.O. Smith is the brand, so anybody that shops at Costco, you've seen the little stanchions. There's stanchions of them. Really nice water heater. But we do have gas options. We can upgrade to a propane or a natural gas water heater. Or we can do a gas tankless water heater. So the electric ones are kind of garbage and we won't do them. But we'll do a natural gas or a propane tankless water heater if you want.
Okay. And then on this specific house, is that overhang or deck area on the outside an upgrade, or was that written into the base price?
On this specific house, we wrote it into the base price.
Okay. So in that $100 a square foot, there was all that porch cover.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. This one, well, I'm going to fire it your way. So I currently own my own home, but would like to build a forever home and rent this home. Can I have 2 FHA loans?
Don't know.
That's what I thought you might say, but sometimes you're smarter than I give you credit for. Okay. So Sabrina is wondering about loan insurance and cost for loan insurance. Might be a good question for a lender, a loan officer.
Yeah, and I would say, the person we work with, I want to say it's usually like $500 plus or minus for the entire build. And that's your liability and your cost of construction insurance.
Okay, and she might have been asking about mortgage insurance.
Oh yeah, probably. And I don't know.
Okay, good question for a lender. Yeah. So Benjamin, this is the last question. Is landscaping and driveways included in the loan?
They can be. So if on your site, we'll work with you on a site development sheet. So items that are non-house related. And so long as the lender is willing to roll it into your loan, then they would include it in your loan. So yeah, sure. Especially like a driveway, because the houses don't come with outside concrete work. So driveways or sidewalks or really the concrete for your porches or any exterior concrete is not included in the price of the house. Out of here, we have contractors that we work with that do exterior flat work. So most people work with them and get a bid for exterior flat work or decking, whatever.
Yeah. We've had people roll like fences and underground sprinkler systems and all kinds of stuff into the loan. So that was the last question.
Cool. All right. Well, we will be ending this. So last shot. So anybody that wants to chime in.
Oh, we got one.
Thanks, Jerry.
Yeah. Okay. That's
okay,
it.
Cool. Thanks everybody for your time today. We hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. And who told you? Joe, who told you? Because Katie and I fully agree.
We tell ourselves this on a regular basis. Thank you so much. That's really nice. Shannon, do you know,
Where you at, Shannon?
yeah, where are you at?
Oh,
Oh,
just come to our office.
call Chuck, call the Crestwell office. Shannon's a fast typer. Okay. Yes, Amy.
Yes. Oh, sorry.
No, you go ahead. If you're reading.
Yes, Amy, this will be posted to our YouTube channel, usually within 24 to 48 hours. And also, if there's other houses that you're interested in, we've really been creating a library of virtual open houses. And so if there's a particular house that you like, I would encourage you to thumb through the YouTube channel because there is a lot of open houses on there. Brandon, in Oregon, we have an office in Aurora, so just north of Salem, that covers most of the northern half. We have down here in Eugene, we cover down to Roseburg. We have Medford, which covers southern Oregon, and then we have a branch out of is it Lincoln City?
Mm-hmm.
Lincoln City that'll do northwestern Oregon coast.
I'm responding to Mary, but she said any tamaracks in the future, and Elena's asking about a Gallatin. I do have a Gallatin coming up, but it's highly modified. But I was responding to Mary to just, if you have Facebook, they keep an upcoming events page, so you can go and see all the upcoming, unless you've got a better route for that.
And no, maybe we should actually put a call out to all the HOCs too, to say we need a virtual on the Gallatin because it is super popular and there's not much for it. So we should work on that.
Okay, that's it.
And yeah, probably not the Tamarack. For whatever reason, the Tamarack is just not a popular build. I haven't built a lot of them. So same thing with the open houses in person. We are not currently doing like in-person open houses out of this branch. Everything that we're currently doing will be virtual. But if there's a home that you're interested in and it's in construction and the homeowner's cool with it, then Katie or I would be happy to take people out to see different floor plans. It's just a roll of the dice whether or not that house is actually going up, currently. So, or if the homeowners are comfortable with allowing guests on their house or in their property. So it'd be worth inquiring. I do know some of the branches have opened back up into doing live open houses as well. So reach out to your local branch as well.
And there's the model homes.
Oh yeah, and there's model homes. Yeah, we don't have one out of here, but there's a model home in Aurora. There's a model home in Woodland. And then I'm not sure where the other ones are, but I think either the Washington, Idaho branches mostly have model homes. So yeah, so I think they are doing in-person open houses again in Washington. I'm not entirely sure, so you'll probably go to our webpage and find your closest branch and just give them a jingle. Okay, awesome. Thanks everybody.
Nice job, Chuck.